Call the October 10th Penn Trafford School District Board meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Lego.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Mrs. Issing.
Here.
Mr. Kachasik.
Here.
Dr. Koshka.
Here.
Mr. Leonard.
Here.
Mr. Matarazzo is absent. Mr. Nemec.
Here.
Mr. Petrucci.
Here.
Mr. Stovar is absent. Dr. Trey.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Lego.
You're welcome.
I'll now entertain a motion to approve the minutes of September 12th, 2016 board meetings.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Kachasik. Any second on motion?
Second.
Second, Mr. Nemec. Any question on motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Information, Dr. Harris.
Yes, I'd like to start with, we just have one item before the Students of the Month. Last month, we started the year off with Chief Otto going to all the schools to have the Name the Dog contest. We have a new police dog, and this past week, the winner was chosen from McCullough Elementary School, Mason, and I hope I get this last name correct, Camzalo. He was a first grade student at McCullough, and he named the dog Mingo. And the reason he came up with Mingo was that Mingo was the name of an Indian tribe at the Battle of Bushy Run. So the new dog for the police force is going to be named Mingo, and he's coming soon. He's getting trained right now with the trainer. I love the fact that we have a good working relations with our police force, and they're getting actually a dog for the community. I think it's much needed, so I do appreciate that. His name is Mingo, so then all our trainer is calling him Mingo to get him, well, obviously this is his name now, I'm getting everything. Didn't have to explain that, but I thought I'd just add it. And the next we're going to have is the Students of the Month, which is the favorite part of all of our meetings, and this is why we do everything that we do. It all comes down to here, and we're going to start off with Mr. Schwartz for the elementary winner.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Before we start with the Student Month, I just wanted to update the board at the start of our school year. Reading's a big focus for the upcoming school year, and the staff got off to a great start this summer with 2 of our reading programs. Led by Allie Kleinschmidt, our staff put together our most successful summer reading warrior program to date. We had about 150 kids come to each session to read books and participate in various reading activities for 2 hours. We had a total of 750 kids participate over the 5 reading sessions, so we were very proud of that. Also, our summer reading treasure map, led by Stacy McDermott, had our best year as well. We had over 80% of our students participating in that program. And we just recently had our celebration with the high school student athletes came down, and our local first responders came and did various activities with our kids who completed their summer reading. And finally, shout out to all our teachers K-5 for their positive attitude and hard work with implementing the new guided reading model. The teachers have been going above and beyond with their efforts with inspiring our kids to read. So we're looking forward to making those improvements throughout the school year. At this time, I'd like to move forward with our Student of the Month. It's my honor to introduce Nolan Sarsfield as Harrison Park Student of the Month. Okay, Nolan, stand right there on that yellow square. Perfect. Nolan is the son of Scott and Carrie Sarsfield and has 2 older brothers, Aiden and Declan, who's sitting right up front there joining him. He is a first grade student in Mrs. Houck's classroom. He was selected by the staff for making the greatest improvement with both his academic and behavioral over the course of the last 2 school years. Nolan enjoys first grade better than kindergarten because he likes being in school all day. He has made a lot of new friends, and he loves outdoor recess. Nolan's favorite subject, he told me, other than recess, he made sure he clarified that, is math, because he likes to do really hard problems, and he gets to do extra math on the iPads. He's excited about learning to read and being able to read all the books in his book box. His favorite part of reading is reading out loud to the teacher. Before the end of the school year, Nolan wants to be able to read a book to a kindergarten student. In his first grade classroom, Nolan loves to help the teacher. He passes out papers, takes messages to the office, and helps with the calendar. His favorite job is being the cue. The cue helps the class stay quiet when his teacher has to talk to another adult. When he grows up, he told me that he wanted to work with kids and help others. He wants to be a third-grade teacher. At home, Nolan likes to play with his 2 older brothers and play Xbox. He likes baseball, and he'd like to play on a team in the spring. Nolan is a pleasure to have in school, possesses many of our school's core values, and overall a great kid. On behalf of the students and staff of Harrison Park Elementary, I'd like to congratulate Nolan for being the Student of the Month.
Next we have, thank you, Mr. Swartz. Next we have the Middle School Student of the Month from Trafford Middle with Mr. Roger Sullivan.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Before I begin, I'd also like to just mention to the board that we're off to a great start too. Really appreciate the Chromebooks that were purchased and distributed to teachers. Our staff has really embraced the use of those. But my attention really, I have to focus this year with Megan McGraw, our guidance counselor, and she is as you know, the elementary and middle school guidance counselor. And she has a really strong pulse on the student body, and she has really taken a strong leadership role in the SAP program and the changes that we have towards new board goals, and the leadership that she has shown with the new career goal with Mr. Karazia. She's in charge of a ton of programs. We have the turkey trot coming up that she's going to be in charge of, but you know, the one thing that really grabbed my attention this year already, she recognized that a young student was in need of a pair of shoes. Shoes that weren't fitting him, and she went out and purchased on her own young man's pair of shoes and other stuff that she needed. That's the kind of person that she is, and what a huge effect it has on our school. So I wanted to mention that. All right, off to our Student of the Month, Sarah Winchell. Come on up, Sarah. Sarah's an 8th grade student at Trafford Middle School. She's the daughter of Dawn and Amy Winchell, who's with us here today, and the younger sister of Hannah and Emma. Hannah is a junior at Elon University in North Carolina, and Emma is a senior here at the high school. Sarah is the secretary of our student council, and she is on the morning announcement crew. She is a high honor student, very strong student. Loves to learn and really enjoys singing in the chorus. Sarah is also involved in the Trafford Middle School Drama Club. She has performed in the last 2 musicals and is looking forward to this year's musical, Shrek Jr. Sarah plays field hockey for the Westmoreland County YWCA outdoor and indoor teams. She loves playing for the Y because she gets to meet and play with girls from all over Westmoreland County. When not on the field, she loves to light up the stage. She dances and competes for Donna's School of Dance, where she takes jazz, tap, ballet, point, hip hop, musical, theater, lyrical, and gymnastics. She also attends a summer musical theater camp each year at sunny Fredonia in New York State while visiting family, right? She volunteers at her church as a guide for Vacation Bible School and has been a teacher assistant for years for the Safety Town program that is sponsored by the Community Women's Club of Level Green. Sarah plans to attend college and become a school teacher, in particular right now, a middle school math teacher, right? So we'll have to keep a watch on that, Dr. Harris. She would also like to teach dance. In her spare time, Sarah loves to shop, boat, and hang out with her friends and family. Her teachers say that she's an amazing leader. She's kind and considerate. The teacher had to pick between 2 finalists for conductor and said that Sarah went up to her and said, "It's okay if you pick the other person." That's the kind of young lady she is. She's a very good student. She's a well-rounded, great girl who's kind to everyone and always smiling. That's what you get from Sarah every day, all the time, that smile right there. And finally, I feel Sarah is she is the complete package when it comes to what you're looking for in a great student. She's very well-rounded. She may win the award for the most polite student ever. I've witnessed her reach out to others multiple times just to see how they're doing or if they need something. This year, she took a new student and asked them to sit with her and her group at lunch so they didn't feel left out. She just gets it. Sarah, congratulations, Student of the Month.
Excellent resume, young lady. You're well-rounded and continued success to you.
All right, and thank you, Mr. Sullivan. And lastly, we have Mr. Cappuccioni from the high school.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. Just a few items, what's going on up at the high school. The Google Chromebooks, we have over 30 carts, and I'm impressed how much the students and the teachers have embraced the technology and the 21st century learning skills. Teachers are now using Google Classroom. Students are on task. If they're not there that day, they can pick up easily what they have missed because everything is online and they can get to the information very easily. We now have a certified Google teacher up here, Sam Carney. She meets with teachers 2 periods a day, period 3 and 8, and have pulled along a lot of those teachers that were slow to pick up the new technology, and it has been impressive. With that, we are having our own presidential voting day here at the high school using the Chromebooks. When students come in to vote, it will be in the library. They will have to show their ID. We'll have our own polling booths. Prior to the voting day in November, we're going to show different ads on TV, the views of both presidential candidates, so it's going to be interesting. And the whole social studies department is involved in this, and they brought upon this idea themselves, which it's going to be exciting because I'm not sure if all the students and teachers understand all of their views, so it's going to be interesting. Also, I'm pleased to state that over 500 students here at the high school registered for college classes. That's quite a few. That's thousands of dollars they're saving. We are in 7 colleges currently right now with over 33 classes, and approximately 97% of the colleges will accept these credits the students are taking here at the high school. So it's quite impressive, and it keeps growing every year. The word's getting out how much they're saving. The average class for a college class at Penn State is around $3,000 to $4,000. To take it currently at the community colleges through Penn Trafford is $147. So they're saving a lot of money. Student of the Month, I would like to introduce Erica Adamick. Come on up, Erica, as Penn Trafford High School Student of the Month. Erica today is accompanied by her mother and sister. Erica is currently a 12th grade student, and at the end of her 11th grade year, her QPA was 4.03. As of today, I just looked at your report card, and you have straight A's this year, so congratulations. A couple of the teachers, what they've stated about her over the years. Mr. Gates, I've known Erica Adamick for a number of years, and I'm not surprised that she is getting recognition as Student of the Month. I knew her first in study hall, then in science class, and currently as secretary of the astronomy club. Erica has made great strides socially and academically. Not only has she shown thoughtful reasoning in class and maintained an A average, she is a student that furthers discussion through intelligent questioning. She has become a leader in the astronomy club, where she is a part of the club and organization and planning. There she contributes to the writing and presentation of educational shows for the school and the public. In addition, she is an excellent person. Mrs. Close stated, I see Erica every day for study hall. She comes to the emotional support room during this time for a quiet, non-disruptive environment where she can complete her assignments. I've gotten to know Erica over the past 2 years. She is a pleasant girl and always looks on the positive side of things. She had to overcome some hurdles in her life, and she has come out on the other side as a stronger individual. I look forward to her continuing to see her succeed in school and in her future. Mrs. Kelly has stated, Erica is one of the most creative thinkers I have ever taught. She's able to view literature from a global perspective, bring fresh ideas to what we are studying. Her unique view of the world impacts her ability to think outside the box. When she participates in class, students listened. They were intrigued by her different viewpoints. She is a kind soul, an amazing person who has overcome much diversity and is still willing to help others in need. Mrs. Jones has stated, since 10th grade, Erica has faced many personal challenges. She has learned coping skills over the years to help her manage and overcome situations that have been challenging her. Erica takes suggestions from adults and tries them on her own. Sometimes she needs an adult there to be there to support her, but she has learned to advocate for her own needs. Erica is very self-determined. During her 11th grade year, she was able to maintain straight A's in all of her classes throughout the entire school year. I am very proud of her, and I look forward to having a very successful future. When Erica graduates, she plans to continue with her education at a four-year school, focusing on writing or film. Congratulations, Erica, as Penn Trafford High School Student of the Month.
And we're going to just take a moment so Miss Georgia can get a picture of the students of the month, the newspaper. So if the three winners can please come over here.
Yeah, that was always the short.
Boy,
That was a brutal,
One right off the cliff, didn't it?
6 weeks, man.
there's no transition. Degrees anymore. That's cool. 40 this morning.
Yeah. I'll take it.
I will too. I'd rather shovel snow than.
Now you're gonna be according to what they're saying. There's gonna be a lot of snow to show.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm getting my snow blower tuned up.
Those rooms are hot. I see Marty Castor, he does concrete. So I see him at the end of the day, touching teaching. He goes, I can do concrete 12 hours a day before being in this room for 8 hours.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
That's why I said, yeah.
Kids and the grandkids.
Under information, the only thing I have left is, Scott, are you able to give a quick update for the pool?
You're like 65.
Yes, the pool is, we got the building inspector to approve the occupancy for the pool, so we will be starting, Aqua Club will actually be starting Wednesday night. So we will have kids swimming in the pool on Wednesday, so that's good news.
Wednesday at the pool. Yep. All right, that sounds good. Thank you, and that's all I have for information.
Okay, recognition of visitors, no one signed in. Okay, thank you for that. That makes me go a little quicker. No Steeler game tonight, though, so we can relax a little bit. I don't have to put it in second gear. Okay, Treasurer's report. Entertaining motion to approve the Treasurer's report for September 2016 and extracurricular fund for the month of August 2016 approved and presented as part of the official minutes.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Nemi, a second on motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kachasik. Any question on motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Payment of bills. Entertaining motion to approve the payment of bills for the month of October 2016.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Kachasik, second on motion? Second. Second, Dr. Costa. Any question on motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Real quick on old business, I just want to add this. I want to, since this was discussed pretty thoroughly, maybe a year and a half ago, in regards to Warrior Court. Mr. Leonard, in his position as developer and the director and the zoning officer, et cetera, he wears many hats for Penn Township. When they paved Warrior Court, he made an effort to get in touch with all board members, and for a very nominal fee, had to ask if we could extend it to go up to the high school. And, of course, I think it was unanimous. Everybody went along with it, and the price was so very reasonable. And I would encourage anyone to look at the great job he did. He did it with, and also a young man by the name of Tom LeMays helped him out, and it enhanced the whole area. So any board members that sit up, you want to look at that, and hats off to you, Mr. Leonard, because I think you deserve some credit for that.
I would like to correct the record a little bit. I had very little. It was the Public Works Department that did it all. I just kind of was passed the information back and forth to make sure we coordinated.
You didn't do it? You didn't do the paving?
Nothing, no, I didn't lift a paving finger.
No, he was the general. He gave the orders and everybody obeyed, and I strongly suggest you go looking at it. It worked out very well. All right, executive session, Mr. Lego?
Mr. Bronco.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bronco.
Yes,
Wrong Italian, all right.
That's right. Executive session was conducted prior to this evening's meeting to discuss the following: various litigation matters, personnel matters, and the board also received information on cafeteria sales, update on the pool, and the stadium sound system upgrade. And that's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Bronco. New business now. Anything else? Nothing else? New business? Athletics Director, Dr. Costo.
Thank you, Mr. President. We do have a few items. Move to employ the following personnel. New employment is contingent upon the receipt of all necessary documentation and acceptance of Act 34, 151, and 114 waivers from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania within 30 days.
A motion by Dr. Costo. Any second on the motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kachasik. Any question on the motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Move to approve the following volunteer coaches. All coaching volunteers must have Act 34, 151, and 114 waivers on file with the athletic director. Jacob Smith, volunteer wrestling coach.
A motion by Dr. Costo. Any second on the motion?
Second.
Second, Mr. Leonard. Any question on the motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
And that'll be all, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Costo. Dr. Costo. Budget and Finance, Mr. Kachasik.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to approve the expenditures for the high school renovation project for the month of September 2016, according to the schedule as listed.
Second.
Question.
Motion by Mr. Kachasik, and second by Mrs. Issing. Question on motion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Move to approve the following change order. As a reminder, last week, Mr. Inglace said there could be some potential change orders for this week, so I'm going to hand it over to him before we make a decision.
We did get the pricing. I remember I had indicated there was additional work that we needed to do to the scoreboard. If you recall, in the beginning of the project, we upgraded the scoreboard, we enhanced it and made it a much better product, and it was an LED scoreboard that, we wanted to make sure that the pool was done right. So when we did that, we didn't consider the electrical work that went into it, so we went to install the scoreboard. They realized that there was still some electrical work that needed to be upgraded to do the enhanced scoreboard. So the pricing came in to add another circuit and some conduit and wiring for the timer clocks on each side of the pool, and that came in at $3,206. So we're asking to approve that as well. That's for Bob Biter Electric.
All right, so move to approve the following change order as presented by Mr. Inglace.
Motion by Mr. Kachasik, second on the motion by Dr. Costo. Any question on the motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Inglace. Move to authorize the administration to make payments amounting to $32,253.80 for credits earned by professional employees in accordance with the negotiated agreement. The list was presented to the board showing the individual payments due and will be filed with the official minutes of this meeting.
A motion from Mr. Kachasik, a second on the motion?
Second.
Second, Dr. Costo. Any question on the motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
That's all I have this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Kachasik.
You're welcome.
Building and Ground Safety, Mr. Leonard.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do have one item. I'd like to make a motion to approve the corrected mailing and physical addresses as advised by Penn Township Commissioners for the Harrison Park Elementary School, which will be changed from 10 Dell Avenue to 18 Dell Avenue, and the Penn Middle School, which will be changed from 11 Penn Middle Way to 1007 Penn Middle Way.
Motion, Mr. Leonard, second on motion?
Second.
Second, Mr. Kachasik. Any question on motion?
Question.
Question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
That's all I have under buildings and
Thank you,
grounds.
Mr. Leonard. Employee relation, negotiations, transportation, Ms. Issing?
Nothing to report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Issing. Food service, Dr. Trey?
Nothing on the information provided in executive session.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Trey. Personnel and curriculum, Mr. Stover is not here. His backup is Mr. Leonard.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do a few items. First, I'd like to move to approve the list of additional substitute teachers and support personnel for the month of October 2016 as listed in Appendix A.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Leonard. Second on motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kachasik. Any question on motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
I'd like to move to authorize the administration to approve any new parent volunteers in accordance with past practices and policies. Volunteers will be used only where the teacher and/or principal approves, and all volunteers will have Act 34, Act 151, and Act 114 clearances on file.
Okay, Mr. Leonard, second on motion?
Second.
Second, Mr. Nemec. Any question on motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the following leave requests as listed, A through F.
Okay, motion, Mr. Leonard. Second, Mr. Kachasik. Any question on motion?
Question.
Question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
I'd like to move to approve the expulsion of student number 20161700001 for the first semester of the 2016-17 school year. Student will be readmitted to the beginning of the second semester as long as the conditions for readmission are met as stipulated in the agreement signed September 8th, 2016.
Motion, Mr. Leonard. Second on motion?
Second.
Second, Dr. Caution. Any question on motion?
Question.
Question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
I'd like to move to accept the following resignation. Kelly Keebler, long-term sub for Kelly Riley at Penn Middle School, effective September 30th, 2016.
Motion, Mr. Leonard. Second on motion?
Second.
Second, Ms. Sissing. Any question on motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
I'd like to move to employ the following personnel. New employment is contingent upon the receipt of all necessary documentation and the acceptance of Act 34, 151, 114, waivers from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania within 30 days. Is the approval of 7 super subs as listed at the daily rate of $100 a day.
A motion, Mr. Leonard. Second on motion?
No, there's another.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
One more.
I'm sorry.
And long-term subs, 2 long-term subs as listed, and 3 paraprofessional PCAs as listed.
Motion, Mr. Leonard. Second on motion? Second, Mr. Kachasik. Any question on motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
And I'd like to move to approve the following band trip requests. A concert percussion to Richmond, Virginia, to perform at WGI Richmond Regional Championships from March 17th to 19th, 2017 at no cost to the district. And marching band to Toronto, Ontario, to perform at Niagara Falls and Toronto from April 16th to 20th, 2017 at no cost to the district.
Motion from Mr. Leonard. Second on motion?
Second.
Second with Dr. Caution. Any question on motion?
Question.
Question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. Policy, Public Relations, Legislative, Dr. Trey.
Thank you, Mr. President. To move to accept and file the minutes of the Superintendent's Information Committee meeting held on Tuesday, September 6, 2016.
A motion, Dr. Change. Second on motion?
Second.
Second, Mr. Kachasik. Any question on motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
And finally, move to give a final approval to a revised board policy related to bullying and also one for administrative regulations on truancy.
Second.
A motion for Dr. Change. Second motion, Mr. Dr. Caution. Any question on motion?
Question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Trey. Taxes, insurance, census. Mr. Nemec.
Nothing tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Nemec. Solicitor's report, Mr. Brungo.
No report this evening,
All
sir.
right, PTA Representative, Mr. Renier.
No report, but I do wish I was here last month when Senator Ward and Representative Dunbar were here.
I want to tell you, they were very informative.
I really, if, in the future, we know what meeting they're gonna be in, I'd like to.
Okay, but they were very informative and, because we had quite a few questions for us and I think they fielded every question very well. If you have anything you want to discuss afterwards, I'll gladly talk to you. Dr. Harris will talk to you if you want to be more specific. Okay, motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Nemick, a second on motion?
Second.
Second by Dr. Costo. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you, scouts, for coming.